Let's go!
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Does the word mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earned beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
No.
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds.
Step into my office.
There's not going to be too many punks.
Now would you stop worrying about the punk?
Fuck you. That's my name.
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing for your listening pleasure.
Hi, and welcome to the High Fives podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and this is the 100th episode. Today we have a special guest. Someone's back from the dead. He can say hello when he wants.
Mike, you did it. You did 100 episodes.
Did I?
Yeah, you did it. I didn't do 100. Justin definitely didn't do 100. You did. You did 100.
I don't know if I actually did 100. I feel like this might be like when Fat Records celebrated their 25th anniversary, and it was really their 26th or 24th.
No, this is 100. This is for sure 100.
The counting's off, but this is 100 in our head, and
it's what we're celebrating,
yeah.
right?
So
yeah,
and it wasn't me, it's you. It's a team effort. You've been out of like 3 episodes.
Yeah, but that's still 3. That's still 3.
I'm super stoked you're here to do this one with me.
Well, thanks. Thanks for bringing me along. And thanks to Justin for just needing a break. That's what I heard. He needed a break. So that's why I'm here.
Maybe.
It didn't take long. That was a short stint to the High Fives
he was
podcast
like, I'm out.
before needing a break. But I'm happy to help.
I have that effect on people. They just
from time to time.
But jokes aside, this is actually Justin's idea. He said he didn't feel comfortable doing the 100th episode without having you involved, and
without having a break.
Okay, it's a break.
Yeah.
Why you gotta rub it in like that, Nate? We're on a break. He's probably fucking the pizza girl now.
This is cheating right here. This is, if this were on Friends,
yeah,
this would be a very divisive episode.
I guess, yeah.
It might be. Maybe it will be a divisive episode.
Speaking of episodes, have you been listening, Nate, or you're just avoiding the whole thing? Is it like too painful to listen to?
I have been listening and enjoying very much. I think I've definitely told you this, that Justin would often say when he would listen to the podcast before being on the podcast, he would say, oh, it feels like we hang out all the time. And then I realized, I haven't actually seen you guys in like months, but I've listened to you a couple times because it just feels like he's part of the conversation. And I definitely feel like that now. Like, I feel like I just saw you guys yesterday because I listened to the most recent episode just yesterday. And it does. It just feels like hanging out. So I'm very much enjoying them. I like the idea that you're doing for this year. I think it's had me looking back for sure. And I think not all things stand up. And then I think, oh, wow, like that's something that I only just started listening to that I didn't even, give any notice to, 20 years or whatever it is ago.
Awesome. Thanks, Nate. That feels really good hearing it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's new with you? You want to give us an update on your life? Things are going well?
I've just been living my best post High Fives life. I'm eating strawberry milkshake frosted flakes, which are great. I don't know. Have you tried those?
I can't because of my ridiculously cholesterol diet, but I have them in my house. Man, I'm jealous. They look good.
Dude, they are. Like, usually those like cereals are so shitty. Like, they advertise to be so good. They get you pulling them off the shelf. They get you bringing them through the cash register, and then you get home and you're like, wow, this is underwhelming. But these are so good. And like, even the milk gets turned into a milkshake. Like, I think that's what they're trying to sell, but it does. It tastes like a strawberry milkshake. But here's the weird thing is, like, it's advertised as not breakfast. Like, even on the box, on the front of the box, it says evening snack.
So they're not even going to pretend that it mildly might be okay for you to eat.
But like maybe this is the beginning of the end for cereal, like big cereal, right? Like maybe they're on their way out because like maybe breakfast isn't a thing anymore. Like cereal's always been like that whole like breakfast is the most important meal of the day was all bullshit, right? So maybe it's all exposed now. Like even on the side of the box it says lunch, afternoon, game time, evening snack. Like it's no mention of breakfast.
Maybe this is big Quaker Oats money. The religious zeal of the Quaker Oats guys got to them.
Breakfast is dead, Mike. It's dead. It's over.
I eat breakfast every day. I have to now. It was very, very important to my doctor when he told me that after my blood work. He was like, you got to eat breakfast every day. And I'm eating.
It's just a small community of you.
Yeah. Eating oats like a Luddite.
So I've been killing my TV streams too, which has been nice. And catching up on some reading as well, Mike.
Don't lie.
And
don't try to make yourself smart.
I'm dead serious.
Don't try to make yourself smart.
I'm reading Storyteller by Dave Grohl right now. Right? Like not right now. I'm doing this with you right now, but I am reading. I'm reading, Mike. I'm a changed man. And I'm starting to learn the trumpet. Shout out Miles from the High Fives.
Yeah, look at the
chat.
Look at the stuff that comes out of the High Fives chat. You got a free trumpet.
A free trumpet.
And some root beer. I want free root beer.
Yeah, and ginger ale too.
You're getting the free stuff. I got one free album, and you didn't let me live it down. You're not even part of the podcast anymore, and you're getting a trumpet and pop.
Just living off those residuals, Mike. What's going on with you? What's the latest in your world, Mike? It's not just about me. This is a two-part.
The people that listen to this
two-people podcast.
The people that listen to this podcast know what's going on. I got nothing going on. This isn't a friend phone call with you and me. I'm letting the people know about you, your sexy mustache, and
the mustache is back. It's in full effect. It's the official sign of summertime.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Not much is new with me. Same old. Working, being boring. Listening to music. I say this every podcast since I've been doing it. I loathe editing podcasts because you did a way better job. It kind of takes the fun out of it. It's more fun to just be here and make asinine comments.
I gotta say, I'm excited. I'm excited not to have to deal with it.
Since it's the 100th episode, and I'm springing this on you. So if you don't have an answer, it's fine.
Spring it.
Do you have a favorite episode from our past?
Oh, wow. Wow, what a spring, Mike. Oh, man.
Or do you hate them all?
No, I had such a good time doing 97 of these with you. But that was all I could do was 97. Geez, I don't know. Maybe episode 11, starting anew.
I think you just like saying starting anew because it bothered people that were listening to the podcast at the time.
That's the one, I think, Mike. I think that's the one. It was very, it held a lot of, it had a lot of feels going on. It had a lot of emotion, a lot of connection.
That's fair.
What about you? Do you have a favorite?
I think the conspiracy one.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah,
it was
that
hilarious.
Was a good one.
I mean, I like the ones when we talked about stories of how the song related to us. There was an episode we did that.
Oh yeah.
Only because I think it's interesting to see how people come at a song, or what it means to them.
Well, and like I think I learned more about you in that podcast, or at least in certain ways, than I knew about you in our previous 25 years of friendship. It's stuff you don't talk about though, right? Like you're not going to be like, oh, hey, this song. Yeah. Let me tell you about how it connects to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, exactly. What other ones did I really like? I mean, I enjoyed doing most of it. I really enjoyed doing the lists, and obviously I enjoyed doing the podcast. It's not like if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't keep doing it. And yeah. So,
yeah.
There was something else. Because I'm interviewing you, I guess, sort of.
Is that what
Sure.
this is? This is an interview? Is there a job at the end of this?
No.
Okay, good. Phew.
I have some quick questions for you. These are one-off
ones.
answers that you have to think about for 2 seconds.
Okay, 2 seconds. Got it.
That's a figurative thing, the 2 seconds.
Yeah, you can fix that in editing,
No, I
right?
can't. You can. I can't.
No.
Everything we do is live now. It's live off the floor like a bad recording.
Like Bill says.
All right, Nate. First up, first song you knew you would get in trouble for listening to.
Oh. I can't say it. Like, I feel like it's offensive.
Well, how offensive is it?
Black Vagina Finda by Onyx.
It is offensive, but that's all right. Makes sense why you are not allowed to listen to it. All right. What song or band changed the way you think about music? And I hope it's Onyx.
I think it's probably the Beach Boys. Like they were the band for sure that like I really do have like vivid memories about listening to, and like it was that shift in now I'm invested in music, right? Like I'm listening to these songs with purpose. They're not just kind of there in the background. There's something I want to listen to.
That's interesting. I would have, like, I think for our age group, I would have thought the automatic answers would be like Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, something like the Green Day, something like that. So cool. Interesting.
I think it all just kind of hit me earlier, you know, like, I mean, those were definite, you know, pivot points for me in life for sure. And definitely those are like that's kind of the music I lean on, you know, in terms of my most impressionable. But I think like that real strong first movement into music was probably something like the Beach Boys when I was little.
What song defines your rebellion? TikTok, my friend.
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah.
These are one-off answers. Don't think too hard.
You know what? I can't pull a song. I'm really bad with song. Okay, I would have to say Propaganda for sure. And Less Talk, More Rock. And really like, you know, more of the songs that were like kind of like sticking their tongue out or putting their middle finger up to like, you know, the kind of the jocks that were coming to their shows, and they were trying to change, you know, the messaging that they were putting out there. And it was like really like in your face. And I think that was definitely, you know, the moment that I felt like proud to kind of like, you know, sing those lyrics back.
I respect that fully. A few more for you if you're still up for this hot seat questioning period. What SNL band and song would you like to introduce? Or probably okay, what SNL band would you like to introduce?
Like current day or anytime?
Anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, Weird Al Yankovic.
I think I'd have to say Nirvana. Those are like my favorite ones. I think they played twice on SNL, and I have, again, very vivid memories of the first time that they were on, and I think it was the first time, and it was with Charles Barkley, and I had that on VHS for so long.
Charles Barkley versus Barney, one of the classic.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was also the time that they, like, In Utero had just come out, so maybe they had played once before. And they were told not to play Rape Me. And the second time that they were up, Kurt started playing like the intro for it, and like panic ensued in the control room. And then they changed to whatever song it was that they played second. But I think Nirvana would have been the band I would have liked to introduce.
Best song for the summer.
Ooh. Huh.
Quick. First one that comes to your head.
The impression that I get.
Perfect. First music video that you fell in love with.
And
I hope it's Black Vagina Finda.
First music video that I felt, maybe like Three Little Pigs, Green Jelly.
No, that's a great pullback though. I respect it. I love that answer. Two more for you. What's the saddest song you've ever heard?
Oh, fuck. Oh, this one's going to take a minute. I can't remember.
Just a sad song. What's a sad
I can't
song?
remember what it's called, but it's on. It's on. I think it's on John K. Samson's solo record, and it's like the third song about Virtue the cat,
Okay.
and it's the one where Virtue like dies, and every time I hear that song, I still get goosebumps.
There you go. And last one, Nate. What's the last song? Okay, go ahead.
And I hate cats. So I don't know why it does it to me, but
Awesome. What is the last song you listened to and turned it up?
oh man, it was today. It was because it's on my list.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was today. It was "You've Got the Nerve" by Bad Nerves.
There you go. Very cool, Nate. Thank you for this questioning and answer period. You're free to go.
Oh, perfect.
Have a good night. I'll do the rest of this podcast myself.
Is it December already?
No, I'm just an egomaniac now. You gave me too much power. Now. Yeah, so because it's the 100th episode, we are foregoing the year theme for this episode, and we are reverting to the halfway through the year, even though it's technically not halfway through the year episode, as you pointed out, that we usually do that in June and not May.
Well, because that's an official 6 months, but this is the Bon Jovi episode.
This is the Bon Jovi episode. So we're going to do our top 5 of the year so far. I hope you have your list ready, Nate, and you didn't pick
I do.
1999, because if you picked 1999, I am not prepared for that.
No, I did as I was asked.
Good.
I did as I was
Good.
told. And I can only do things that I'm comfortable with and things that I know. And I know this. I've done this one a couple times.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I can't wait to hear what you bring into the table. And I guess we can start on our first pick. And I'm going to revert to you and let you go first.
Well, that's nice. I thought you would switch it up.
Nah, fuck that.
Really? No. All right. Stick with what you know. Well, as I just spoke about this band, because I turned it up today, my first pick for the evening is Bad Nerves. The album is Still Nervous. This is the follow-up to their self-titled debut that came out in 2020. It's been a long 4 years, Mike. A real long 4 years. I feel like they have been teasing this album for at least 2 of those 4 years.
For sure. Like, I feel like they had a couple singles like right out of the bat, and they were like, oh, an album's coming out, and then nothing came. I think you even ordered something and they said an album was coming out soon.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And like a slow trickle of singles over what I think have been years. I don't know. But lots of them. I mean, I will give it to them. I wonder if there was drama or something, in terms of not the band necessarily, but like studio time, or if tours got in the way. I know they've been touring pretty heavily, but like this has been a long burn. This band has definitely become an all-timer for me. They're a 5-piece from Essex, UK. This is a much anticipated album, and it did not disappoint. It isn't quite out yet. It might be out by the time this comes out. But the Bad Nerves team sent a promo release to the High Fives team. Shout out Bad Nerves. Much thanks for that. And it did not skew my review at all. I actually pre-ordered the vinyl back in, 2 months ago when they announced it. And I don't think I've ever done that before. Like, not one time have I ever just bought sight unseen. So I was stoked to hear the rest of it. I really, really love this band. I think this album is awesome. I think this band is finally starting to get that deserved hype. There's, kind of some big names talking about them right now. Billy Joe from Green Day, Stone Gossard even from Pearl Jam. Shout out Stone.
Is there a lot of people being named Stone these days?
I don't think there is. No, I don't think so. They've been touring with the Hives, bands like Royal Blood, no doubt doing their own headlining tour soon. This album is very much a reflection of the last album, but I would say maybe even faster, like breakneck speed fast. it's straight ahead, it's loud, it's catchy, it's poppy, it's stick in your head and stay there punk rock. The band is self-described as the bastard child of a Ramones Strokes one night stand.
That's actually a perfect way to describe this band.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. I cannot get enough of this band, and I cannot say enough good stuff about them. Bad Nerves, Still Nervous, You've Got the Nerve is the song.
Perfect. That I actually haven't listened to the album yet, but the 3 singles are phenomenal, and I've been super stoked. I just haven't had a chance because we got it last week. Just haven't got a chance to listen to it.
That was like an unexpected Christmas present. I couldn't help but open as fast as possible.
That's fine. You deserved it. You waited.
I do deserve it, Mike. You're right.
You waited for that for
Thanks
a while.
for that.
This has been your your secret Christmas gift. This is like waiting for Super Mario 3.
Were you stoked on Super Mario 3
Oh,
when you
dude,
opened that?
I was so into that one.
I'm still stoked on it. Like,
I think that might be my favorite Mario game.
I don't think it's my favorite, but it's really good. I think the problem with Super Mario 3 is like in the middle of the game, it gets ridiculously hard. Like the first couple worlds are okay, but Mario is always like that. The first couple worlds are okay. The last couple worlds are okay, but that middle is like almost impossible.
Yeah, I think I just have like a good feeling. Like that came out at the right age for us, like where I didn't have much going on, like where I could do on like a ton on the weekend. So like staying up playing Mario 3 was like,
yeah,
great.
You weren't working yet.
Super Mario World on SNES might be better. It might be the best. I don't. Those
The
two
World
two.
on
Yeah.
like with Yoshi and all that.
Yeah,
I think that's the best one.
yeah. You're probably right. Those two though are like the cream of the crop,
They rise to the top.
as Macho Man once said.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I miss these impressions. Justin doesn't do impressions.
No, I feel like. Oh no, he doesn't do any. I don't think I've ever heard him do an impression.
Nope. Never heard him sing. Never heard him do an impression.
Well, you've got your work cut out for you, Mike.
My goal is to make him sing on the podcast. I will happily end the podcast if he sings a whole song. My first pick. I'm going to come right out of the gate with some Calcon.
Ooh,
The band is No Brainer. The album is Dead
excellent
Weight.
choice.
Thank you. No Brainer released Dead Weight a couple months ago, and it's been on heavy rotation for me. I know you had shown me these guys a couple years ago, and I liked it. Really good. I haven't had a chance to see them yet. And then last summer, I ran into Eric from Territories, where he told me I would get a free album.
Shout out Eric from Territories.
And he was hyping this album because I guess he had heard it or had tried to help them like promote it a little bit, but they hadn't finished full production. He was like, this is going to be such a great album. And you know, like when you talk to somebody and they're like, won't stop talking about how good something is, and you're like, okay, fine, whatever. It's probably okay, but it's like not that amazing. By the end of the conversation, I was like, I don't even need to hear this album.
Yeah.
But I was like, Eric was 100% right. It's a phenomenal album. I'm surprised it's not getting talked about like in the same vein as the core album and stuff. Like the core album's getting a lot of hype, which is really good. And I just surprised this is like right up there with that kind of, if you're into that kind of sound. They got a great blend of like street punk, but like with way more melody and more of like that like 90s punk sound. So which fits in with our theme of our podcast this year. Is like just hit the right chord with that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you've been listening to those last few episodes and you've been liking that kind of music, I would definitely suggest checking out Dead Weight because it really harkens back to that 90s punk scene.
Yeah, this is a great choice, Mike. I really like this album a lot. I've listened to it a couple of times through, and yeah, just kind of blown away. I'd heard of these guys like you said a couple years ago, but I haven't really. Not that I go to a ton of shows, but I haven't seen them at any shows or anything like that. I haven't really seen much advertised, and so, and this one just like caught me by surprise when it came out.
Yeah, it's excellent. I know they're doing, I think maybe next week they've got their actual album release, which is a couple months out on the actual release. But I think they're playing they're doing Edmonton and with Territories and Oh, the name escapes me. What's the Edmonton band that's like on Stomp?
Homefront, Old
No.
Lives. Those are the only two Edmonton bands I know.
No. Well, I'm not gonna deal with it.
Oh, the Sickies.
Sickies, real Sickies, real Sickies.
Real Sickies, not just the Sickies, the real Sickies.
Yeah, they're really sick.
Yeah, super sick.
Yeah, so I think that's coming up here, but I don't know if our podcast will be out before or after that show, so it's probably irrelevant to you guys, unless you're from Edmonton, and this is out before that. But yeah, the song I picked is called Better Days. It's just a good example of the kind of sound they have, and front to back, great album, and that's my pick for number 1.
Bad Nerves, Still Nervous. You've Got the Nerve.
No Brainer, Better Days off Dead Weight.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, you got the love, you better call somebody if you got the love. Hey, yo, you got the love, you better move your body if you got the love at all. No way. Hey, yo,
It's like no time has passed, Mike.
It is. We've just like jumped right back in.
Yeah, back in the saddle again.
You know it.
Again. I had to go fish my microphone out. I had put that thing away. I had put it into a cement block. I had buried it in a time capsule. I had to go dig it
I
up.
was thinking today, like you gave me the other recording device, and I've got it sitting on my desk here, and I'm like, I wonder if Nate needs that ever.
Oh, yeah, I probably do. I totally forgot about
I mean,
that.
it's mine now.
Yeah. I mean that, yeah, of course. You had a chance to buy in on that, Mike. You said no. You said you didn't want to buy in
It's
on
common law now. It's mine.
It's not common law. My next choice, Michael. I think this one's pretty obvious. I think this one's going to make a lot of lists this year because it's just so damn good. It is Alkaline Trio's new album, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs. Man, is this ever a great album. This is the album I think I've been waiting for from Alkaline Trio for at least, I don't know, maybe 4, maybe 5 albums. This is their 10th studio album. To me, this album is like the marriage of that old sound with the new sound. Like it feels like putting the style and the sound of From Here to Infirmary together with This Addiction. And I realize This Addiction is actually 14 years old, but it still feels incredibly new to me. But it's like a marriage of those two sounds coming together. This is the last album that they did with Derek Grant, which I didn't realize. I thought Adam recorded this one with.
Oh,
them,
I didn't know
but
that.
Yeah, Derek was still doing or still tracked on this album. So there's that. This is also the first album post Blink-182, right? So I feel like not necessarily like Skiba had, something to say or anything like that, but like, in regards to, not being in Blink-182 anymore, but like, I feel like that must have had some kind of an effect somewhere in the song.
It feels re-energized for sure. It feels like there's a new focus on the band, and for me, it feels like everything I wanted to come out after Good Morning. Not that I like all the other ones too quite a bit, so it's not a slander on them. It just feels like if Good Morning came out and then this came out, it would have made sense, like in my head.
But I think, and again, like not to no slam on Alkaline Trio, but I think that for me at least, there's a lot of really great songs on their albums, but I don't think there's a lot of front to back albums for me. And this is an absolute front to back album. It just kind of expands and gets better and better with each listen. And I think part of the newness of this is it feels a bit more collaborative too. Like most of their albums, if not all of their albums, feel like, it's Matt's song, Dan's song, Matt's song, Dan's song, Matt's song, Matt's song. And this feels more like an Alkaline Trio as a whole, as opposed to kind of that back and forth. I would say this is an all killer, zero filler album that will have me coming back for more over and over and over and over. I think this could be the best one yet.
The
Mike.
best Alkaline? Wow.
I think it
That's
could
a
be.
bold statement, sir.
I'm a bold kind of guy, Mike.
It's, I wouldn't go as far as that. I really like this album, and I agree front to back, solid. And I agree on the whole. It sounds more collaborative than other albums where they do like this is a Dan song, this is a Matt song, like 100%. I don't know if I would put it up there with From Here to Infirmary or the one before that, but it's the first one in a long time where it's like consistently good. And I do think sometimes bands just need that little break where they don't get stuck in a formula. And it's I don't know. I love it. Nothing bad to say about this album. I'm curious to see what song you pick.
Well, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait, Mike. Stop asking.
I only asked once. You don't know what song you picked, do you?
I didn't write it down, so I gotta look for it. I know which song it is. I'm just bad with song titles. Oh yeah, I got it, Mike. What's your pick? What's your second pick?
You're not
Mike?
even going to go to your song yet. You're going to wait, and we're just going to go to my pick, and then you'll give me your song.
Yeah, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait until the very
we
end.
can do that.
Of the whole podcast.
Oh, fuck, you bring a guest on, and they just throw you a curve.
They run the show. I'm going to start tapping pretty soon. Yeah.
All right. So, Nate, My second pick is a band called Riley.
What?
I told you not to tap, and you're fucking tapping. Tappa, tappa, tappa. Okay, so Nate, my second pick is a band called Riley. Do you know Riley?
I do. You sent me this band name and album some weeks ago, and I love this record. It's great.
This is actually Riley's third album, but this is the first I'd ever heard of them. They're from Texas, and they play music in the vein of bands like Hot Mulligan. And when I say that, you know that sound where the singer's almost always half screaming, but like not in a hardcore way, in like a more of a melodic way. I'd say they almost sound like Wonder Years if Wonder Years was less pop punk. It also kind of has a sound of like if Pup or Fiddler was mixed with those bands. Does that make sense? Am I just like...
Oh, totally. Yeah, they've got like those kind of sparkly technical guitars like in there as well.
This is definitely the sleeper hit for me of the year because I had never heard of them before. Just randomly selected this band because I thought the artwork looked interesting. And I'm not even a cat guy, but I thought it was an interesting. I was like, this looks like it could be a good album. Just there wasn't a lot of effort put into the artwork.
Cats hissing absolutely terrifies me. Like when a cat hisses, it sends like every bone in my body just starts vibrating with absolute terror.
Yeah.
Does it do that for you too?
I'm not around a lot of animals. I'm not a big animal guy.
There's just nothing more like raw and violent than a cat hissing. It's scary.
It's the kind of thing that makes you go bump at night, hey? All
yeah.
Right. The album opens up with 777, which really leans into that Pup or Fiddler sound, and then all of a sudden just bursts into that more like newish emo thing and chugs more into this blend of that all. But that's not the song I went with. I ended up going with the song Bad Boys Boxing Club, which is a great name for a song or band or shirt, anything. It's just a great name. And that's all I have to say about Riley with the exclamation point.
I don't think I'd wear a shirt that said Bad Boys Boxing Club. Remember that brand Bad Boy?
I don't.
Oh, really? It was like in the No Fear time. And like the logo was like some like, it was like a kid that kind of looked like, Randy from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Remember Randy? No, who was the bully guy? Was it Randy?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was. Randy was the bully guy. And it kind of looked like him. And he was like flexing his muscle. And he had like kind of spiky hair, I think. It was called Bad Boy.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
You don't
remember
that
at all. Bad Boy sounds like the like lesser brand of like No Fear, which is already the lesser brand of like every other surf skate culture company of the time.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the reject of the rejected.
There's no Thriller Gorilla. I was going through like, you know how Facebook gives you the memories thing? And it was like 15 years ago. It's like looking for a Thriller. My thing was looking for a Thriller Gorilla shirt. And you know what? I still don't have it. I want a Thriller Gorilla shirt. I wanted one of those so bad when I was a kid.
The Facebook memories, like I feel embarrassment every time they come on. Because that was like at a time where like you would update your status often.
Yeah.
And it would be like, you would talk about, I don't know, dumb shit.
Ate burritos last night.
And I just had a real love for talking about absolutely dumb shit.
And now we have a podcast.
And when they come up, I cringe for myself. Like, it's nothing like crazy, but it's just like, wow, I did that. Hey, that's me.
Yeah, but it's like 15 years ago, and that was all new at the time. You just have to think that.
I know.
I noticed that like probably 75% of them are you and me talking about an album before we were like, I think because we were just kind of reconnecting, and most of the time it's like,
yeah,
have
maybe.
you checked this band out before? Basically, it's a podcast.
Yeah, that's for the Patreon. For this album, I really could have picked like any song. As I mentioned, I think this is a great front to back. One of the songs, the opener, which is one I strongly considered, Hot for Preacher.
Love that
which
title.
is a great song title. So good. But I had to just pull a lyric out of there because I feel like some people think that I invented the word anew. And I did not. I did not invent the word. And Alkaline Trio used it in that song, Hot for Preacher. The lyric is, "We are so far, so lost it's true, we can't attempt to start anew." Look it up, kids. Look it up. I didn't choose Hot for Preacher. I went with the title track instead, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs. Off the album Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs, Alkaline Trio.
Riley, Bad Boys Boxing Club off Keep Your Cool.
You showed up and I shot down. We lost touch and you left town. You said, I never ever want to see your motherfucking face again. I went out and I got high. I blacked out and lost my mind. I said,
this is not a new name to the music game. This guy's been around. He's been around the block. This one kind of caught me a little bit by surprise, I think. The artist, Mike,
Nathan.
is Frank Turner. The album is Undefeated. Have you listened to this one yet?
You know what, Nate? I have, and it's fantastic.
It is fantastic, Mike. It is fantastic. Just came out at the beginning of the month, May 3rd, I think it came out. It's another 10th album. This is Frank's 10th. And this one, honestly, it just clicked for me. I think lyrically it clicked for me. I think musically it clicked for me. It clicked all the boxes. And there's a lot of reference to kind of getting old, right? And feeling old, and also just kind of not giving a shit. And I really appreciated that. I think Frank's probably around our same age, so he's probably gone through a lot of the same things, through his musical, I guess, upbringing, for lack of a better word. But probably gone through a lot of the same phases and gone through a lot of, the same bands that we've listened to growing up. And so I think there's probably a stronger connection than I ever realized there. I think Frank is probably one of the hardest working musicians in the genre. And I think that's what really comes out in this record. I think, the sincerity, the honesty, and, just his authenticity is what comes out the most in this record. Most recently, Frank set out to set a world record for most shows played in different cities in 24 hours. Did you see that?
I didn't
see that on the socials.
I didn't see that on the socials.
I think it was right around Record Store Day, and he was doing it in association with Music Venue Trust, which is a UK charity which serves to protect, secure, and improve grassroots music venues. I mean, Frank is he's a real one. And I think things like that show it more, or show it in a really real way. He was also at a record store on Record Store Day this year, the most recent one, working a shift as the store opened before playing an acoustic set in the afternoon. And just a couple of years ago, he also played 50 shows in 50 states in 50 days in the US, proving what an absolute monster of a performer he is. I was lucky enough to see him on that tour. I think we saw show 45 in Portland, like just a happy, I don't want to say accident, but just happy. It was just coincidence. And it was one of the most memorable shows I've ever seen. Like, he played show 45 like it was show number 1. And I can't imagine how incredibly exhausting that is. But like I say, he is 100% a real one. This album's also been all over the charts since it's been over, and deservedly so. The song I chose was Never Mind the Back Problems, which I think captures not only, aging in punk rock, but also his never-ending love and care for music and community, no matter how old.
2 things from that. One, did you pick that just because you have back problems?
No, my back problem's okay now.
Okay.
No longer disabling me.
Excellent. 2, no one's ever going to believe me, but I saw Frank Turner 3 times last year, and that's 3 times more than I've seen most shows.
Wow. You saw Frank 3 times?
Yeah, but not like intentionally. He just opened for who did he open for that I saw him? Hot Water Mutiny. No, Interrupters. Did he open for Interrupters?
Oh, I think maybe. I didn't go to that show.
He opened for Interrupters, and he was awesome. And I saw him at Riot Fest, and he was awesome. And I can't remember the other time I saw him, but I was thinking about it. It came up in the WhatsApp chat that he's coming here, and I'm like, that's really weird that I saw him a lot more than I've seen a lot of bands. I don't know where, but
yeah,
he's excellent live. He puts out a lot of music, and sometimes it's hit or miss. And this album is all hits, which hasn't been for a while. I think the last few have had like chunks of really good songs, but then like some filler for me. But this one is, it's just a phenomenal album. I caught myself listening to it a lot this year. So good pick, Nate.
Thanks, Mike.
The band I'm picking next is a little bit of a contrast to Frank Turner, but it works. The band is Deathlens. The album is Cold World. So you had sent me a text when this came out. I saw it. I noted to check it out, but with minimal expectations because I'd liked them, but they never really got me all hot and bothered. However, like most things, I was wrong about it. And I really liked this.
And I was
I
right.
didn't say you were right.
Don't forget that part.
I didn't say you were right.
I know. That's why I'm telling you.
I will not say you were right, ever. We don't have to be nice to each other anymore. You're just a guest.
You were always so nice to the guests.
It's fair, but I like them.
You're starting anew.
My anew is to be more of a jerk to people, which shouldn't be hard for me. Now I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Nate. Thanks.
You were talking about how I recommended Deathlens
Oh,
to
yes,
you.
yes.
And how I was right
Okay.
to do that.
Nate was right to recommend it because I'm assuming he heard it and thought I would like it. Or he just thought I liked the band and had no idea. We'll never know. If only he was here to answer such questions, but he's not. That was my inner monologue while I was writing this. Anyway, this is their first full length on Epitaph, and I believe third or fourth album. Do you know, Nate?
I think it's only their second.
No, they at least have three.
Okay, maybe their third then. But this was the first on Epitaph,
Yeah,
eh?
first on Epitaph.
Okay.
And for me, it was a giant leap in songwriting, production, and style. Like they've really leaned into a different sound, I think, and one I like a little bit more, which is weird because usually I am not one for when bands get overproduced or change that kind of thing. I like the raw grittiness, and they've moved away from it, but they've landed in that sweet spot where the energy and then the enthusiasm of DIY isn't lost, but a little bit perfected. The album surfs all around aspects of the broader punk rock genre. At times they play hardcore that's kind of like in the vein of bands like Turnstile and Drug Church, but then you'll still catch elements of their original like more party punk sound in there too. The harmonies are more in line with post-punk and emo of like the newer emo bands like Spanish Love Songs, Hot Mulligan, that kind of shit. Not in a bad way. Sorry, I don't know why I said shit. Whatever it is, Cold World is a complete package, and it's an album I didn't expect to love as much as I did. I keep going back to it, and I definitely didn't think I would. I know it's not for everybody, so I'm curious as someone who liked their other stuff, if it's annoying that this is so different.
I don't think it's annoying. I really like the last record, and I really love the singles for this one as they were coming out. So that I didn't like this record. I think I just didn't it didn't hit for me as much as I thought it would. The singles really grabbed me, and when the album came out, it just didn't click for me as much. Which isn't to say it's like I think it's a great album still, just not
what you're looking for.
Didn't kind of fire on all cylinders, and I think maybe that's in the change a little bit. But I still really like this band, and I think they'd be fun as hell to see live.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see how their live show would translate really well. Like they just seem like I think coming from that party punk background, you can see and they have that energy and stuff. And like I said, even though this is a very produced album, it doesn't lose that in it for me anyway.
Yeah, the energy's still there, I think.
I didn't know what song to go with because there's a bunch of them that I really like, and I kept going back and forth between two songs. The opener, which is called "Fucked Up," and it's a total banger, like in your face, like gets the album started. But ultimately, I went with the song "Turnout," which I think is the standout one for me.
Nice.
And it might have been one of the singles, right? Or you don't know?
Oh,
I don't want to put you on the spot.
That's
I don't
too
want to put you
much,
on the spot.
Mike. Don't do that.
I'm sorry, Nate.
That's okay. I accept your apology. I accept it. Frank Turner, Undefeated, Never Mind the Back Problems, and
Deathlens, Cold World. The song is Turnout.
If I had a penny for every time that someone said, didn't you read the magazines that said the punk is dead? I'd have the money to waste my time at shows most every night. So you give up and go home if you want, but I'd turn up alive. And maybe punch a promise that was never fully kept. Johnny roast me, Stanley Buster, and Telly Willing the slept. I've seen the Jam and two original members in the band, but nevertheless I'll smash it up whenever I get the chance. And if I had a penny for every time that someone said, didn't you hear the radio But if I wanna flex my head with a sense of community, while running around in circle pace, you know what it has to be. Never mind the back problems. And if I had a penny for every time that someone said, how the hell are you so sandy? Go to fucking bed. I still wake up to ringing ears, shivering, sweat and shame, but I had the money to get back up and do it all over again. So give me fear and strange, give some music that's just noise. Give me hope and grind and scar and emo core and I'll find the money to waste my time at punctures every night. So you get up and go home if you want, but I'm set up for life. Nothing you say, now you're on your own. Heart turned into, now you're all alone. Felt jealousy, what you have said. Was it worth it? It's what you see when you jump the gun. False fallacy, now you're on the run. Fed it to me, how do you live? Bullshit. Oh wait, placed on my own shoulders. It's all over. Hey, you say. Causing my turnover, won't push over. Don't feel a thing, back against the wall. Try pressing me, now you lost it all. Let anger lead, brick by the touch. Undone, it's what you see when you jump the gun. False fallacy, now you're on the run. Fed it to me, how do you live? Bullshit. Oh wait, placed on my own shoulders. It's all over. Hey, you say, causing my turnover, won't push over. Oh wait, placed on my own shoulders, it's all over. Can't you say, no time to waste? Let me the pain, until we pay. Can't you say, no time to waste? Let me the pain, 'cause I don't wanna feel shame. 'Cause I don't wanna feel shame.
On the fourth pick already, Mike. It's just flying by. Just a quick shout out. This is a band that couldn't make the list this year because they haven't put out an album this year or ever, actually. I hope they do. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a band that I love every single that they've single. Is that like a double? It's a little CanCon humor for you. A little Canadian humor. Tim Hortons humor.
It's not even a Canadian company anymore.
I hate Tim Hortons. Anyways,
Brazilian, I think.
is it not? It's American? Brazilian. That's odd.
Don't quote
Didn't
me.
see that one coming. Is it really not Canadian?
It's really not Canadian. I'm 85% sure it's a Brazilian company that owns it.
Well, look at that, Mike. The more you know. The more you know. Anyways, I still hate Tim Hortons. That's not going to change. It's not a shout out to Tim Hortons.
Well, I guess we're not
I don't
getting that
know.
Tim Hortons sponsorship
I
money.
don't know. Hey, I don't give a shit about your sponsorships now, Mike. None of them.
No.
Not one.
Fine.
I stopped using Bing the second I left this thing.
You were right to do so.
All right,
Bing
back to
for all your needs.
back to the shout out. The band.
You can check out Tim Hortons ownership via Bing.
No more Tim Hortons. The band is the shout out that I was going to give to, and the band is Beach Bones. Mike, you and I think we found them right around the same time last year. They put out 2 singles last year, 2023, 2 singles so far this year, and loving them all. Super energetic. They're catchy. Get out yo seat punk rock. At least one of these members, maybe more, was in All My Friends Hate Me. That was a band, All My Friends Hate Me. I'm hoping for a record from these guys. I really, really like what they're doing, and hope to see a record from them in the near future. So shout out Beach Bones.
Excellent. Yeah, the singles are great. That Nick Cage song is awesome.
Awesome. Did you hear the new ones? Personality Crisis, I think, is the newest.
Is it a cover?
I don't think so.
A Personality Crisis?
Is that a song?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a cover. I don't know. It's great, though. If it's a cover or if it's an original, it's great. Check it out. All right. Now, a band that did put out a record this year is The Drowns. And they put out a record called Blacked Out. And simply put, this is a fucking rock and roll record, Mike. This is a live fast, die young kind of record, full of songs about partying hard and just not giving any fucks at all. Songs about fast cars and bar crushes.
Trans Am.
Yeah, fast cars, Mike. Fast cars. Stays true to the Drown sound, but also offers something a little bit new and takes it in a slightly different direction than, maybe not slightly, takes it in a different direction than some of the other albums that came before it, which is really something that I think has become part of the Drown's like greater sound. You know, each album just has something that's different about it. Like it still has their sound. It still brings that along, but there's something different about each of their albums. The promotional description for this album on their Spotify page reads, "At such a stressful time to be a free-thinking, open-minded, open-hearted American, the Drowns have come together to light a fire amongst those of us who still have hope in humanity." And I think that describes this album well. Live life, have hope, hang in there. So the song I chose is All Charged Up, which is really the song that sold me on this album. It's a bit of a love song with a Kiss reference and a third act key change. And what says hope more than that, Mike?
So you sold me on Kiss.
I knew it. I should have led with that. I kind of buried the lead.
Well, I believe last episode I talked about how much I like this album too. It's a great album.
Oh yeah?
And it's very, it's got, like, I feel like they really leaned into the glam rock of it all.
Yeah. Glam rock.
That's
glam punk. Sorry.
Yeah.
Glam rocky, glam punk, I think, is the official genre.
Glammy glam punk rock.
I mean, you're the creator. I bow down.
I created nothing. I just said a stupid thing.
Which is how all good things are created.
But yeah, great album. And actually, interestingly enough, the next album I picked is also an album I talked about last episode. Shout out to last episode.
Check it out. Episode 99.
No one cares about 99. It's all about 100.
The great one. That's the great ones episode.
It's all about 1998, even though it's episode 99.
It's so confusing. Like, I know we've talked about it, but I haven't aired any grievances publicly.
Oh, publicly grieve it.
It drives me absolutely crazy.
I've thought of ways to fix it, and I don't even know it. Now it's even going to get worse.
No, now it'll get better because it'll be 101 and it'll still be in the 90s, right?
So less confusing.
I think so. I think less confusing.
It's very confusing on my hard drive when I'm trying to edit it. I'm like...
Because, yeah, I get that. So next one will be year 99, but it'll be episode 101, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's still fucked up. It's still...
I mean, we could skip to 2001, but I don't know if Justin wants to do that.
You can't skip. You got to keep... You have this idea you can just bounce around. Once you set on a path, Mike, you got to stick to that path. Haven't you seen Willow?
I only saw Willow once. I feel like I played the video arcade Willow more than I saw the movie Willow.
You should watch Willow again. That might help you stay on a path.
Don't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah. This is just a suggestion.
I'm a freewheeling, turtles in time kind of guy. Obviously, you didn't listen to the last episode. I like the cowabunga lifestyle. I do what I want when I want.
Is Michelangelo your favorite guy? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
He's how I run my life.
I am Michelangelo, hence the name Mikey.
All right. So the Drown's really good. You know who else is really good, Nate? My fourth pick. The band is The Reflectors. The album is called Going Out of Fashion. I spoke a little bit about this album last episode, and I hope I convinced some of you to give it a listen. I do know that power pop isn't everyone's jam, and there is a lot of bands doing it again, which kind of created a flooded market. But I promise you, The Reflectors are one of those bands that do it the best. After a 3-year absence, they're back with what I think is their best work. Going Out of Fashion continues their power pop dominance, but it's really leaned into garage and punk on this one. Something about this album just feels a little bit more energetic, a little bit more frantic than the previous releases, and it just makes me want to turn it up real loud. And that's not just because my hearing also sucks. It's just because I'm excited. Have you listened to this band yet?
I have. I did give this a listen. I liked it.
Yeah, it's really. I think it's really good. But you have to like power pop, I guess, and that sound. Like I said, and there is so much of it. So, and the problem with that is like a lot of it does sound similar. So one of the things that really stood out about this was that they leaned more back into the punk sound, but still kept like that kind of Carsy production and stuff. It's really good. But the song I went with is called Limitation because I thought it was one of those songs that kind of highlighted this little movement back into their roots, I would say. That's all I really have to say about The Reflectors.
Well, you said some good things, Mike. You said some
Thank you,
real good
Nathan.
things.
I did call you a whore before. That was not nice.
That was not nice. But that wasn't about The Reflectors. That was about me.
And pizza.
And pizza. Correct. Yeah.
Sometimes the cowabunga lifestyle leads you to say some crazy things.
It gets crazy, right? Like, and that's part of it, right? You don't just, you do what you want.
It's a thriller guerrilla world, and we're all living in it.
Your inhibitions are just thrown out. There's no control.
It's true. It's true. I apologize to everybody for my vile language.
Apology accepted, Mike. On behalf of everybody. The Drowns, Blacked Out, All Charged Up, and
The Reflectors, Limitation off Going Out of Fashion.
Well, excuse me, miss, I don't mean to interrupt, but did you just put Kiss on the jukebox? Need your leather jacket and your combat boots. I swear to God, you light up this room. Well, this place sucks, but the beer is cheap. At least the food is cold, the staff is mean. But at this moment, babe, I'd never leave. 'Cause at this rate, you'll be the death of me. You got me all charged up. You got me all charged up. I can't get enough, you see. It's destiny, it's the final key. You and me, you got me all charged up. Are you in the market for taking in strays? I can cook for shit and I make mistakes, but I'll promise you this, right out of the gate, it'll be the greatest game that you've ever played. I don't see a ring where your heart should be. Let me plead my case now before you leave in front of judge and jury. I'm on my knees. I ain't got much, but I got what you need. You got me all charged up. You got me all charged up. I can't get enough, you see. It's destiny, it's the final key. You and me, you got me all charged up. I see it in your eyes and you feel it too. It's
Well, Nathan, we've made it to the end. Do you remember what the end is like?
Yeah. It's very endy.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
I say thanks to a lot of people. And then we talk about your song. We talk about my song. We fade out. You used to put in a humorous clip at the end. Sometimes I do it. We'll just see what I feel like.
Oh, yeah?
You never make it to the end, do you?
I haven't noticed it yet. Have you?
I did it
done
last episode. I used a Seinfeld thing at the end.
Oh, but it wasn't you guys.
I think there was something about, I don't know. Maybe not.
Was it you guys talking, or did you use a clip from Seinfeld?
I did both, I think. That doesn't matter.
It's confusing.
Who cares? Let's get to the thanks. That's what people want to hear. Thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you for making 100 episodes. If you're like one of the few that started out with us, like there's a chunk of them.
It's a lot of hours.
It is a lot of hours to listen to some annoying banter. No, jokes aside, thank you very much. Really appreciate doing this. Thanks to you, Nate, for joining me today, taking some time off your busy life and filling in for not Nate, aka Justin. And doing this 100th episode with you. It was a blast to do this with you and catch up. Maybe one day we can have a three-way.
Ooh.
That's a sexual term, not about the podcast. I mean, no, it's about the podcast. Thanks again to the listeners. Thank you to the WhatsApp group for all the awesome chats and tips and trumpets. Thank you to Bing for nothing. I don't know who else to say thank you to. Thanks. Thanks. I really do appreciate it. If you like the podcast, please tell a friend. You can rate it on Spotify and Apple or however you listen, and that helps. I don't really know how it helps, but I assume it forces it into other people's feeds. But honestly, if you like it and you know somebody that might like talking about music or listening to music like this, pass it on to them. That would mean the world to us. Thanks for listening. Hope you keep listening to the rest of the podcasts. No, that's it. Thanks again, Nate. I don't know if you have anything you want to add. You haven't been around. Maybe you want to say thanks to people.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw some thanks out this time around, Mike. I'm gonna say thanks to Justin for needing that much deserved break. You know, from was he 3 episodes in now?
Yeah, 3.
3. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So thanks to Justin, Big J. Is that what
the Juice is his nickname? I don't know if he wants to be associated with the Juice anymore, but he's dead. It's can't help it.
Nobody picks their nicknames unless you're Nightcrawler.
Shout out to Boats.
Shout out Nightcrawler. A big thanks to you, Mike, for asking me to come do episode 100. I'm really glad to do it, and I miss doing this with you. So this is really nice to be able to go one more. So thanks for that, and thanks to Miles for the trumpet, and thanks for the WhatsApp group. I enjoy. I just enjoy all the commentary, all the love, all the chats on there as well. So.
Yeah, if anybody wants to join the WhatsApp group, just get in touch via Instagram or send us an email. Again, we don't have a website anymore, but Instagram, Facebook, email are the easiest ways, and that's all pretty easy to find if you listen to the podcast. I think it's all linked up nowadays. So
those are all DMs.
You DM, you slide in.
Slide.
Slippity
slide. Slippity slide. Shout out Coolio. R.I.P.
Is that Coolio?
Slide.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Slide. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Come along.
Fantastic voice. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, is that
Coolio?
Come on, Mike.
I was mixing it up with Let Your Backbone Slide. No.
Skilo?
No, I was mixing up with some CanCon. Let Your Backbone Slide. Maestro Fresh West.
Oh, all right.
Great throwback.
R.I.P.
Great throwback
Coolio.
Hip hop song.
R.I.P.
Backbone Slide. Also Coolio's, I guess. Just get to your last fucking song.
My last pick, Mike. My last pick. I think I think we talked about this band really briefly over the last couple of weeks, and you said, I don't know who that is. And that surprised me, Mike. That surprised me because it's not often that I find a band that I bring to you and you've never heard of them. And I still take great pride in that. That to me is a big win. That to me is like, mic drop. I think I'm just going to go back to bed now because that's the best my day is going to get right there. So thank you. Thank you for not knowing
Thank
this
you
band.
for thinking I'm that relevant.
Yeah, you're relevant. All right. The band is called Classic Pat. And I think that's how you have to say it. Classic Pat. Just like that. What a name. This is the 5th full length by Classic Pat, including an album that is an entire cover of the La Bamba soundtrack. I don't know why. This is Pat McVeigh, I think. I can't read my writing. McVeigh. We'll go with McVeigh of Ghost Party, The Putz, and The Practice Run. Starting to ring any bells, Mike?
I know Ghost Party, Practice Run. I know those bands, but I don't know. I still don't know this band.
You know those bands.
And I do know La Bamba.
You don't know this one.
And all I can think about is yelling Richie.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, this is Pat from those bands. So this is a Ramones core styled record, but I think it's one of the best that I've heard in a while. It's got a good amount of surf rock also thrown into this album, lots of harmonic oohs and ahs, lots of catchy hooks and melodies. There's some 50s style rock that's also a part of the recipe that pulls this record together. There's even a Sadie Hawkins dance reference for authenticity, Mike. Sadie Hawkins. Do you know what Sadie Hawkins
when the girl
dances are? See, I didn't know that. And I mean, I know that they're in every single American coming of age movie that's ever been made.
There's also a really good song called Sadie Hawkins.
Is that right?
Like
Who's that by?
The band S.
You don't know.
I'll send it to you. It's a really good indie rock song.
Do you know where Sadie Hawkins comes from? Do you know where that whole thing? Because I had to Google it. I had to understand a little bit more about Sadie Hawkins.
But I'm going to Sadie Hawkins you.
Do you know the Lil Abner comic series?
No, I don't.
I think you would if you saw it. Anyways, the comic, there's a character in the Lil Abner comic series called Sadie Hawkins, and the comic strip ran in 1937, and it was something to do with, I guess, her asking a guy to the dance. So the comic ran, and by 1939, Sadie Hawkins events were held at over 200 colleges across the United States. And now it's becoming a thing of the past. Now the Sadie Hawkins is on its way out.
Probably don't need to really have a Sadie Hawkins. I would hope that we live in an age where it doesn't matter who asked who to a dance.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. No, it shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter. The album's called Won't Back Down, and the song I chose is Going Nowhere.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm excited to listen to this. I always like when you bring something to the podcast that I've never heard before. So
I like it too, Mike. I like it a lot.
So my last one is a band. Well, it's actually a singer who we've talked about on the podcast a little bit for his work in Benchmarks, Ghost Town Remedy, a stint in Two Cow Garage, and of course his solo work. The artist is Todd Farrell Jr. The album is Might As Well Be Ghosts. This one kind of popped out of nowhere. I hadn't seen any promos for it or any talk of it. And had he not posted something on his Instagram, it might have not even hit my radar. According to his posts, the majority of this album was written during COVID at home as sort of self-therapy. And after some convincing, he fine-tuned it into full recordings with some friends, and it was released. If you're a fan of his previous work, then you won't be disappointed. And if you've never checked him out, I suggest you do. He's one of those punk rock singer-songwriters that just does it right, like sort of in the vein of, like, say, a Frank Turner or a Chuck Ragan, a John Moreland, or dare I say it, John K. Sampson. Like, those guys just have a great way of storytelling in their songs, and I think Todd Farrell Jr. fits in with that sort of crowd. if you're into those bands, this record's for you. It's definitely for the aging punk rock or metal fan out there. And there are some great lyrical gems in there that you can probably relate to if you're a little bit older. Let us talk about how he is into different types of music and stuff with his kids and growing older and playing shitty shows, but also being in different bands. Great listen. The song I went with is Hey, You're Finally Awake. No, sorry. It's called Hey, You're Finally Awake.
Excellent choice, Mike. I really, really like this album. I listened to it a couple times through now. And yeah, I'm glad you shared this one with me, because when you said Todd Farrell, is there another name in there? Todd Farrell Jr.
Yeah.
That's it? Todd Farrell Jr.? I thought it was like
No,
Todd
just
Gregory or Kenneth. No, there's no middle name, just Todd Farrell Jr. Yeah, when you said that, I'm like, I don't know who that is. But then you said Benchmarks, and oh yeah, okay, I got you now, Mike. And I really like it. I think he's a great songwriter. I think this album's great. And I'm really liking, I mean, even Frank Turner has one, maybe two songs that relate to COVID and just kind of like, hey, everybody, that was a super fucked up time and it's okay that we're not okay, you know, because nobody really says that, right? Like everyone just kind of talks like, hey, we're moved on, we're done. And it just feels like a distant memory. But I think lots of people in different ways, in ways that you don't even expect, and they just kind of come about, you know, they kind of mess with you a little bit. So I like that, you know, there's these songwriters writing about that time, or at least pulling from that time, and there's a relatability to it.
For sure. I mean, like, yeah, that Frank Turner song definitely struck a chord with me. I mean, it's a fucked up thing that we all went through, and like everyone went. It's not like you can't say like everyone went through it. Not one part of the world, everyone. So everyone's experience is different, and everyone's feelings. And I don't want to get into like the politics behind it and stuff, but yeah, if you somehow think that it wasn't a big deal, then something's probably not right with you, and maybe that's what the problem is too. So that's my stance. Yeah,
the problem is you.
It's all of you. But great pick, and thanks again, Nate, for joining me.
I was going to say thanks for having me, Mike.
Sorry, I got distracted by all these fun things going on in the screen.
Yeah, if anybody has like I don't know what's doing it, because I've seen it on Teams. Now I'm seeing it on the podcast recording situation. I think it's got something to do with the camera, maybe. Maybe it's a Mac thing. I don't know. But like you can start gesturing to the cameras now, and it like does things like puts fireworks behind you when you put two thumbs up, or if you put one thumb up, it shows like the thumb up emoji. Or if you do something else, balloons start flying around. Like it's wild, man.
It's what a crazy time we live in.
It is. If only they could use their powers for good. Classic Pat. The album is Won't Back Down. The song is Going Nowhere. Thanks again, Mike. And
Todd Farrell Jr. Might as well be Ghosts. The song is Hey, You're Finally Awake. Thanks for listening. Stay cool. Be excellent to each other.
metal t-shirts in my drawer that I can't wear anymore. Skeletal depictions in black and white. Get the wrong looks in the daycare pickup line. But if I make it to the weekend, maybe I can see a show. But they start so late these days, do I even want to go? But I'll probably stay up anyway, watching baseball and playing video games. Just like I did when I was 13. It's been 30 years since the Great War, and the Nords can't worship Talos anymore. The Emperor signed the treaty gold and white, but Ulfric's headed for the Reach to pick a fight. And now he's taking Markarth and the Legion's getting scared. The Stormcloak Revolution has the Thalmor unprepared. But over here in Helgen we've got dragons in the air. Just like I saw on Fox News. Black metal t-shirts in my drawer, save them for the reunion tour.
Hi, and welcome to the High Fives podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and today we've got a special guest because it's the 100th.
Try it again. Try it
Today
again.
we have a 100th.
Yeah, it's like a D and a TH. It's tough.
Okay.
It's tough for like a native speaking Canadian.
Yeah, 100th. Okay.
Is Michelangelo your favorite guy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
He's how I run my life. I like pizza. I say dude a lot.
I am Michelangelo, hence the name Mikey. You eat that gluten-free pizza? Can you have that?
I actually had that today.
Gross, right?
Yeah, I might as well have got a real pizza that I wanted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, go for it. Treat yourself, Michael. I treat myself every day.
Yeah, well, you're a whore.
Wow. That took a turn. An unexpected turn.
It did. I don't know where that came from. I'm still really bitter about the pizza life being torn away from me.
For all your search needs, Bing. That'll get us back on track.